If you have to, okay, here we go.
Hello, welcome to episode 48 of Below the 38th Career. This is the weekend that was.
I'm Andrew, joined by Mike. We don't have Luke with us today. He's on vacation in the Malvinas. How you doing, Mike? How you getting on?
Not too bad. Just wondering if I might get drafted like Luke.
Yes, well, as you're about to find out, either on this show or on the preview show that's coming up later on, Mike will be absent for the next couple of weeks as he takes his tour to the Malvinas too. Anyway, we don't have a huge amount of time to get through the weekend that was because Mike is very, very busy going on vacation, just as Luke is. So just a quick look at the headlines on the eve of August. It appears the K-League 1 is not a foregone conclusion after Ulsan's surprise win in Sangam. Jeonbuk relieved some pressure on their manager. Pohang don't. Anyang incredibly are up to 5th and just a win shy of 2nd. At the bottom, Gwangju are already preparing for the relegation promotion playoff in December. And the K-League 2, the title race is officially 1-6 after an epic weekend in the 2nd division. Let's get straight into it. Our website, by the way, is below38career.com. There will be a link to this in the description below. So with Luke being absent today, I will go through the K-League 1 results. Not as much in-depth analysis as Luke is normally prone to do. 2 matches on Saturday. There was a huge one in the Pohang Steel Yards. Pohang 0, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 2. Pressure lifted on the Jeonbuk manager, Chong Jong-young. Pohang were piling on the pressure until Bruno Mata's wellied upfield clearance in the 93rd minute. Pohang keeper Hwang In-jae inexplicably came out of his box. He fresh aired his clearance, allowing Kim Young-bin to head home. 3 points for Jeonbuk and good news for their bus driver. Also on Saturday, Gimcheon 3, Daejeon Hana Citizen 2. Daejeon took an early lead. Gimcheon fought back to lead at the break. Masa thought that he had rescued a late point for Daejeon. However, substitute Kim Il-suk grabbed a late winner for the Army side. Somehow, Daejeon are not managerless on the eve of August. We might get on to that in a different podcast later on. On to Sunday, the derby of sorts. Incheon 1, Bucheon 1. Kevin Aperi's favourite K-League centre-back, Wanabitha, put through his own net to hand Bucheon an early lead. Morgan Ferrier, friend of the show, scored late on for Incheon. Bucheon did finish that game with 10 men after Han Ji-ho's red card. Speaking of 10 men, Gwangju were also short a man in the closing stages of their 2-1 defeat at home to Jeju SK. Jeju now have final A in their sights after this come-from-behind win against what is now basically playoff confirmed Gwangju FC. Gwangju have not won since the second weekend of the season against Incheon. There's 2 more matches. Anyang 2, Gangwon 1. Anyang did their great rivals FC Seoul a favour by beating Gangwon 2-1 for a rare home win. Anyang are 5th despite losing all their best players every transfer window. And finally to Sangam, where it finished Seoul 1, Ulsan 3. It was beginning to look like when, not if, Seoul would end their 10-year wait for K-League success. Ulsan had other ideas, racing into an early 2-0 lead, holding on despite an onslaught from the home side, and eventually grabbing a third. So a very, very eventful weekend in K-League 1. What it means is that FC Seoul's lead is still 9 points, helped of course by Gangwon's defeat in Anyang. Jeonbuk are up to 2nd, and interestingly enough, Jeonbuk do host FC Seoul this coming weekend. Ulsan in 4th host FC Anyang. If results go Anyang's way, they could be up to 2nd. Jeju will travel to Incheon this weekend, Jeju will host Incheon this weekend, knowing that a victory there will see them jump above Incheon in the table. And at the bottom, it's Bucheon 11th and Gwangju 12th. Gwangju are now 10 points adrift at the bottom of the table. Mike, K-League 2.
All right then, well, let's just go through. We had 3 nights of K-League 2 action over the weekend, beginning on Friday, where Seoul Elan were making something of a formality of the game against Cheonan City. They going 4 goals up of course, 4-1 up, but then Cheonan City began hitting back, making that final somewhat shaky for the Mokdongers. But it did finish 4-3, and while that does suggest that Seoul Eland are extremely vulnerable, it does fire them all the way up to 4th place in the table and 3 points off the title. Many pundits said they would be title winners. Hasn't looked like that at all this season. But now, all of a sudden, it does. Also on Gimhae played Cheongju. Cheongju were playing, so it was 1-1. Okay. But on to Saturday, because this is where all the major permutations over this weekend happen. Now, Jeonnam played out a 1-1 draw in Gyeongnam, just to give them a mention. But the big ones are, of course, Hwasong. They played out a real ding-dong with Asan winning 3-2. And we have to probably say now that Asan, in terms of the playoffs, it's a big ask now for them. Hwasong, 31 points, 6th place. They're only 5 points off the league title and also 5 points ahead of 7th. It looks very much like there's a miniature league now in K-League 2, 1st through 6. Chowdhury's men, of course, are at the base of that, but they have looked good for large parts of the season, and they've just had a significant reinforcement, who we'll get onto shortly. Now, Daegu, they hosted Suwon FC. Daegu's grand return, well, we knew this was going to be a massive game. And Daegu, well, didn't look too comfortable. They went 2-0 down despite getting a late one back. I'd be interested to know anyone who was at that game, which we might hear about later. And that's a massive win for Suwon FC, puts them firmly in 3rd place, just 3 points off the title themselves. Daegu, 4 points off the title. You can see how tight it is. There's so many numbers. Just remember, 1st place through 6 is only 5 points. But perhaps the biggest one of all was, of course, played all the way down in Busan. Busan hosted the Blue Wings, and Busan went 1-0 up. I said that this was a massive one for Busan. They really, really needed to win this game, and they did everything they needed to, until Blue Wings did something they just don't do, and that is they put 4 goals past Busan eventually. An absolute statement win for Suwon Blue Wings. They played a game that they haven't played all season, and of course, the man to get the 2-1, the winner, was Ilyachenko. Okay, he'll be relieved and be looking forward to kick on the Blue Wings to a potential K-League 2 title. Or will he? Because actually today, if you've been following social media, you've seen him in a Hwasong shirt because he's done his announcement there. He has moved to Chowdhury's men. Quite interesting, but to be honest, I don't think Blue Wings felt like they needed him. They had other goal scorers on that day, and again, Blue Wings looked like they may finally have decided to turn the corner. They only conceded once against one of the strongest, or if not after Suwon FC, the strongest attacking side in the league. Busan, 1 win in 5 now. It's 2 defeats on the bounce. It looks like the Busan iPark dream, one of the originals of K-League football, that the wheels have well and truly come off there now. Blue Wings are now level on points with them, but they've scored 10 less goals. But again, they scored 4 goals. That might change very soon. Suwon FC 3 points behind. Seoul Eland 3 points behind also. So both on 33 points. Daegu 32 points, 4 points off the top. Hwasong 31 points, 5 points off the top. Honestly, have a look at the K-League 2 title. It is crazy, and I think almost there's going to be a real great fixture every single weekend in the K-League 2 going forwards. So getting past all of that, we had a few games on the Sunday as well. Gimpo Yongin, this is actually quite a significant one. Gimpo, they just don't win at home, do they? And they failed here. That's left them 5 points off the playoffs. No win in 5 games. It looks like Gimpo and Asan's attempts at breaking into the playoffs are well and truly over. It may only be August, but again, it looks like a 16 mini-league, as said. Now, two league wins in 3 also goes for the Ansan Greeners, who have fired themselves up to, well, nowhere, because they're still 17th. But it's that man, again, Ansan Homeboy, signed from Pohang. He scored the winner against Suwon Blue Wings, as we were both there to witness, and he scored, again, Kim In-sung. He put the only goal, or got the only goal of the game as Ansan won away at Paju Frontier. But again, much of the K2 now insignificant this season outside of the top 6.
At least it's the top 6 though, as opposed to like a top 2 or a top 3.
Yeah, I think we hoped that it would go a little bit further down, but It's one thing is the league needs to look at what's going on in the K-League 2 this season and probably open up promotion relegation more, because it's really changed the dynamic of the second division and made it a lot more meaningful and exciting this season.
And obviously, the way the fixtures worked out at the weekend, just having the top four playing against each other, was absolutely enormous, and turned out to be a great weekend for the Suwon clubs. Both of them won on Saturday. I was at Daegu 1, Suwon FC 2. It's probably the best match I've seen so far this season in K-League 1 or K-League 2. 29 shots on goal. It was as open as I think we expected it to be. The lead up to it, 15 shots on target. Yang Han Bin, Suwon's goalkeeper, very experienced at this point. He was previously with Gangwon, FC Seoul and Songnam. He didn't win the Man of the Match award, but that doesn't mean much in K-League 1 or K-League 2. He was the best player on the pitch on Saturday, and he was robbed of that particular accolade. He made 3 incredible saves, 2 in the second half, 1 in the first half, that basically saved the match for his team. Both of Suwon's goals came inside the first 30 minutes and were both down to their aerial superiority from set pieces. The Daegu fans, a large number of them, displayed their displeasure at the 2-1 loss with a very audible round of boos as the players are making their way around the pitch. They are not happy in Daegu, but they're still very much in league contention. I also visited Anyang 2, Gangwon 1 on Sunday to make it a K-League 2, K-League 1 doubleheader again. This is one of those games that had absolutely no business going to the 96th minute. The Israeli forward Abdallah scored what looked like a late consolation for Gangwon, but Anyang, as we know, just don't pick up enough points at home, and they have been quite nervy in all of their games that they've been leading late on. Soon after Gangwon scored, they then hit the crossbar, but still a rare home win for Anyang. Home form has been a problem for them, and yet they are probably looking at some of those home results as a reason why they're not second at the moment, which sounds very, very crazy, but that's the reality of K-League 1 at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. I did join you at that game actually, but due to circumstances I managed to miss all 3 goals. But never mind. I was also, bizarrely, not at a single K2 League game this whole weekend. I was in the WK on Friday as Suwon FC just continue firing their way to the title. Just like their male counterparts, they dispatched Incheon 4 goals to 0. 2 goals from Melania. You'll find an interview with her on our website. That's still yet to be translated, so at the moment you do need to be able to understand a bit of Brazilian Portuguese, but we'll get that sorted for you in the near future.
Yes, well, that's it from the weekend that was. Unfortunately, it's a very, very quick show, as that Luke is away on vacation, sunning himself in the Mediterranean coast, and Mike will not be around for the next few weeks. You are also going away?
Indeed, yes.
It's a secret where he's going, but maybe we'll talk about that on a later episode. So the next episode of the weekend that was, my name is Andrew. I'll be on for that with somebody else. Some lucky soul out there is going to get a message from me this week saying they want to come onto the podcast, but Mike and Luke will not be here. However, if you check your news feeds, you'll probably see a K-League 1, K-League 2 preview show featuring Mike and myself, Andrew. We'll be doing this until Luke gets back sometime in early August. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Take care.